This is our first one. All right, here we go. Welcome everybody to our first show and tell of 2024. This is, I mean, so many familiar faces, and a couple new faces, which is awesome. And let's just start first with any announcements from Vince.
Let's see. Well, that's the usual. There's so a ton of workshops opening up, darkroom workshops and non-darkroom workshops. So that's good. And we are preparing for the Raymond Cooper show opening later this month. And an unbelievable amount of preparation has gone into that show. It's going to be amazing. So Raymond Cooper, if you don't know, was a photographer in Oakland in the 70s and 80s. And then so he had, thousands of photographs of Oakland in that period. And then after he passed away, there was a fire at his family's house, and part of his archive was destroyed. And then where it was stored in a storage shed, that was burgled, and the archive was stolen. And then it was found on the street by a skateboarder guy who returned it to Raymond Cooper's daughter, Asia. And so this is some documentary and also commercial work and personal work from Raymond Cooper in the 70s and 80s that was lost, burned, but it was found and survived. And EPCO sponsored scanning and restoring part of it. And then it's going to be a really fantastic exhibition opening on the 23rd. So I hope everybody will be there. And we've been working really hard getting this ready. It's really going to be
months and months.
Yeah.
And months.
And then Jody's Asian Americana show is still up in the lobby at the Asian Resource Center. So that's the building that we're in. And that's a really terrific show curated by her gallery manager, Jody Ligon. And it's a multimedia project from two different artists. Really, really stunning. She did a wonderful job. And so next time you're at OPW, get over next door, check that out. Thirdly, we are going to be on a fundraising push this year. We are trying to get EPCO to the next level where we'll be in a real sustainable state for the coming years, and hopefully bring on a part-time executive director. And so we may be contacting each and every one of you for help in fundraising. So please, now's the time to start thinking about contacts you may have, folks who are supporting the arts. So if you've got some names and some ideas and some suggestions, please forward them on to me, but we'll also be getting around to everybody. Jenny and the board development team have been sponsoring a round of talks, bringing folks together to talk about how we can develop our board, and through that develop our funding. And the first one of those went really well. The second one was literally a washout because it was raining like hell, so it was canceled. But I'm looking forward to the next one. But it's all about us putting our heads together and getting ideas about how we can secure funding for EPCO for the coming years. And we are just open to any ideas, any connections you may have, any experience you may have in terms of arts fundraising. So we will, so please reach out to me or to Jenny. But you'll be hearing about this effort for the next 6 months at least. So that's what I got, Jenny. Did I leave anything out?
That's it? Don't you have any more? Just kidding. Okay, thank you.
Hey, Vince, I have a question.
Yes, Hannah.
The next show and tell I saw was like something in the style of the Raymond Cooper
Mhm.
exhibition, like Lost and Found. But can you explain more about that?
The idea is like dig through your stuff, your personal archive, and find some work that you forgot about. Like, oh, I forgot I did these. And I've been doing that and I found a ton of stuff that like, oh, I don't even remember this role or this shoot that I did. Or so that's it. Yeah.
Maybe you found like an undeveloped roll of film in the corner of a drawer,
Yeah,
right?
best of all.
Process it.
Yeah. But yeah,
Okay, that's what I thought, but I was like, are we supposed to find other people's on the street?
you can
You
that's
can
that's
sneak one
allowed.
in.
That's allowed, but it's really more about digging into your own archive and uh film or digital, and just find some lost projects, some lost images that you haven't thought about for years and that you find pleasantly surprising. And yeah,
Awesome.
restore your own archive.
Cool. I like that.
Thanks, Vince. And so now we'll start tonight's show and tell. And what's interesting about what you just mentioned, Vince, I'm your host. I'm your host for tonight's show and tell. And it is your top 10 favorite photographs you made in 2023. This would be timely for like New Year's Day or New Year's, like January, but today's like, or February is like our January this year for show and tell. Anyway, like what you said, Vince, like when I was kind of looking through my work, trying to find my favorites, in the back of my head, I had some ideas of what I was going to choose, but I have this system at home where I've been shooting a lot more Polaroid basically I started shooting more Polaroid during the pandemic, and I've been shooting more and more Polaroid, and I put them in this box. I've got like one little container and I put them in, which is to scan. And then I have another one that is after you scan, put them in here so you can look at them when you're like color correcting, to make sure they look like the actual thing. And I realized that I had so many shots that I hadn't scanned all year. And so I looked through them and I had completely forgotten about some. And so it was really it was like a lost and found for 2023. And I found stuff in there that I completely forgot about. Anyway, so I will start. Oh, can you enable screen sharing? Pretty please. And for those of you who haven't been to the show and tells, how it works is there's a host, and they pick a theme, and then they get to show some of their work, and then they kind of what do you call it, uh host the rest of the night. So that's why it's me, it's not usually me. Okay, so let's see, here we go. And I'm gonna do file slideshow. Oops, no, I don't want to go that fast. Okay. So there's a mix here of Polaroids and tintypes. And I realize, well, I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to go through them. I've got 10 here. I'll talk for this one because this is a tintype that's like really impossible to scan, but it's a reflective copper colored tintype. So those are my 10. I'll go back to the beginning. If anybody has any questions, and then I'll just talk a teeny bit about it. But I actually did kind of a lot of traveling, probably the most traveling since the pandemic last year. And so I did take a lot of pictures, but this was in Brooklyn, walking around. And I've definitely just been trying to get a better handle on Polaroid since they're so they're just difficult. This was actually on the Analog Forever, Film Forever camping trip in Morro Bay, and one of our people just came along to go surfing. So this was him. This was in Boston. Bursel Cove. I really, 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 really love doing the silhouettes of grasses, specifically with Polaroid. So I take a lot of these and they don't always work out. This is one that I had completely forgotten about and found in the pile and was just so happy with it. This is also Bursel Cove. I don't know if any of you have been there in Salt Point, Northern California. The most beautiful, weird rock formations along the coast. And challenging for whatever reason, for me at least, to photograph. But I've shot a lot of film and some Polaroid and was super happy with these. Also, I had completely forgotten about this. The Albany Bulb near where I live, tremendously gorgeous at sunset, and black and white sunset. I don't know, why not? But I love it because there's this pool in front that has these waves that's reflecting the clouds, and I don't know, I took a ton of black and white that evening. This is also in Bursel Cove. I photograph this sign every time I go there. They don't always come out. I kind of forgot about the details of this one, but I don't know, I love it. This is part of my weed series with tintype. And they're hard to make. But I managed to make a handful of successful ones this year or last year. So that's one. This is one. And then this is one, a little oak tree sapling. So, all right. Any comments, anything at
It was a
all?
beautiful, Jenny. I mean, stylistically, your style is so unique and so focused. No pun
Thank
intended.
you.
Yeah, love it.
Thank you.
I really like the surfer guy one holding the fins. Like that has some like pent up, action in it. Like you can kind of feel the cold water and the beach and you can really feel that moment, I think.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was I was inspired by my backlit grasses, and I was like, oh, he's not a piece of grass, but he's got this wetsuit on that makes him, I don't know, because he's got the hood on also, it just was an interesting look, and then it worked.
yeah.
And I liked it a lot as well. But I thought, it's strange. I thought he was holding like a suitcase or, gym grip. What's he doing with the wetsuit? Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't realize
it's
there
weird.
was just like, yeah. So I really like that one.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it
thought it
was,
was a suitcase. How embarrassing.
no, it's totally not embarrassing. The thing is, he looked kind of funny anyway. I mean, it was just an odd, like, I'm not used to a surfer looking like that.
Mhm.
He's a body surfer, I should put it like that. So those are his fins.
Yeah.
But he carries, like, he's got his little sack and he's got a little bag, and it's just very curious.
They're all so elegant. I love all these photos. They're beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
And the black and white,
Nice.
I've never shot black and white on Polaroid, but I love how you can like play around with silhouettes and get it's like,
Yeah.
especially seeing it big on my computer, it looks like, you know, it's in a gallery. I'm like, I can't believe that's a Polaroid. It's so beautiful.
It's really amazing. And the thing is, like, you do have to kind of shoot a lot. Like this one, I do have quite a few. I think I shot a pack and a half actually, but I also had two different kinds of Polaroid film, and I just was trying to figure it out. I had been really frustrated, and I mean, damn, they're so expensive, but you know, I really was like, I need to get something. I need to just see what's going on, you know?
I love this one of the Albany bulb with those like thin kind of organic lines going
Mm.
across.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody.
Yeah,
I'm
very
gonna
good.
stop. And next, oops, next is Ernie Loopy.
Oh, I forgot I was muted. So I'm going to start off with the slideshow as well. And these are all from my recent trip to Italy in last October. So a couple of Holga shots, a couple of 35 millimeter, and a couple of iPhone.
Where were you when you were there, Ernie?
I was in like Florence, Lucca, Licciana Nardi, Venice, and Lake Como.
Oh, nice.
It's kind of hard to narrow it down to 10.
I know.
But yeah, so this is a Holga shot. I just like the how his hat glows.
Mm-hmm. I love the speckled light in that one.
Yeah, that's definitely what, was the attraction there, because you never know how the Holga is gonna, define everything. Um, and it just happened to hit pretty well, focusing on the gentleman. Because again, Holga's a crapshoot at times.
And is that leaves, like leaves from the tree at the top?
Yes, up here, yeah.
Amazing.
And then the shadow from, trees on the land. This is in Lucca. And so Lucca is a walled city um, that now you can walk around the city on the parapet. Is that what you call it? Um, and bicycle and all that. So it's kind of interesting. And then the ancient cities, you go down, and then there's outside the walls is, Lucca, but the older cities behind these, you know, 30, 40 foot high walls. And this is in Florence. Yeah, just like the play of light and shadow.
Were you waiting for people to walk by
Yes.
into the guy's, what is he? Oh, he's smelling a truffle.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so cool.
like a truffle class or uh expedition experience, you know,
Mhm,
truffle hunting, I guess, or
mhm,
cooking with truffles. Not quite sure. But I just like the light was, highlighting him, and
mhm.
like I said, waited for somebody to walk by. And this is just again Florence. not your typical tourist shot.
Mhm.
And then this was a window display in Venice. The light was coming above the coats hanging there, and I just like the textural appeal.
Yeah.
I
it's
like
great.
this one, and also kind of the feeling of, people that aren't there.
It almost reminds me of like backstage at a show, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
before the
like
film.
the models, yeah, backstage, yeah. Yeah, and it's just like in this small, narrow, out, not alley, but small walkways, you know, because Venice, the I want to say sidewalks, but whatever, but they're mostly kind of narrow, and so it was just kind of this just jumped out at me. Now this was with my cell phone, and in the little town of Licciana Nardi, that's where my paternal side of my family comes from, and it's in the northwest corner of Tuscany. And this was a couple. They had um a villa and they've been renovating it. And this was like this little area outside where they can get away from the sun when it's really hot. But as I was taking photographs around the ground, and I had just finished doing portraits of them, um, this was like one of the last things I saw, and wow, beautiful still life.
I love this one. That with the shadow of the
Yeah, the
picture.
teapot or whatever,
Yeah.
water. Yeah, no, it's just like everything seemed to kind of fall in place. The shadow coming this way, and not bad for a iPhone.
Oh, that's an iPhone?
Yeah,
Oh my
It's
god.
impressive.
and this one is as well. And so this was like near where
Wow.
I shot that. Well, no, it wasn't near where I shot the coats, but I mean, this is like how narrow some of the streets, for lack of a better term, are in Venice. And with this couple, I found out as later when I walked down there, some of the gondoliers would come by, and it was like a little, they call it uh, riva, meaning the water part, and the gondoliers would come by, and I guess they were watching them go by, but I didn't know that at the time when I took it. Just the way they were framed by the door was what caught my eye.
I'm gonna say something I don't think I've ever said in my life about this one. That one. The dynamic range is amazing. And I say that in all seriousness, like I can't believe you got that with a cell phone. There's so much like you got like I'm just shocked. It's like there's
Yeah, no,
detail in the
I was,
shadows, all those gray tones. Like I
some
can't
of
believe
it's,
it.
well, it's a cell phone so it's obviously already digital, but
Right.
you can kind of go in and tweak it a bit. But I didn't do too much.
It's
Um,
amazing. Yeah, it's
yeah,
really nice.
yeah. So this was the iPhone SE, the
Oh,
third
that's the one I
edition.
have.
Yeah, I got mine. It was about a year ago, and it had just come out a month earlier. So it's not
Mhm.
like it was an older SE. It was like the newest model. But anyway,
Interesting.
but
Yeah,
yeah, I was really
that's
impressed.
impressive.
But damn. Now this is back to Holga in
Nice.
Venice. And I
What
don't
did he
think I could have taken a tape measure and measured where the mask is, to get that sharp. It's all just, "Oh, I think that looks right."
Wow.
And then the square within the square within the
It's
square,
amazing.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's great.
what did he use to take the other pictures, Ernie?
The 35, like, which is obviously this one, it was either my Olympus 35 RC or my Nikon S3, both of them rangefinder cameras. And I shot Delta 400, although I think I had a few rolls of HP5.
Oh,
And
nice.
it's just like the light falling on this gentleman sitting by the cistern, the graffiti in the background. And I was on the ferry boat going to Bellagio and Lake Como. And this scene graced my presence. So I couldn't pass it up. And then again, Holga.
You've got the Holga down, Ernie.
Yeah, I like using it. It's
I'll say,
light.
your play with light, looking at your work online and seeing this, I mean, it's just amazing, right? But these shots from Italy, because obviously your deep heritage and emotional attachment to Italy combined with this light, is just great work. It really is.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, it's I hadn't been there in 12 years, so
Mhm.
just glad I made it back there. All right,
Yeah.
so now where? Oh, it's up here now, Star. I was looking down at the bottom to stop this share. Thank you, folks.
Great.
Thanks, Ernie.
Yes,
Thank you.
Ernie.
Lovely. Let's see. Next is Bob Shankov.
Okay, well, anybody who's ever seen my work knows stylistically, I'm a little bit different than this stuff, but I still love what's going on. So I will,
Hey, that's what matters.
totally. So I'm kind of a digital guy. Let's see what have I got going. Can you see this okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, okay. So I kind of shoot street and I like color. And I'm not going to go through it as a slideshow first, because as I kind of went through and picked my 10 shots, it's like there's a thread here. So I'm just going to kind of go through it because there's a lot of EBCO interlaced in this. I mean, if anybody who knows where this is Oakland's Chinatown. This is on Pacific Renaissance Plaza, where I tend to park if I'm sitting in the gallery. And I just kind of saw this moment unfold. Well, went up there I like to play around there, and I saw a moment unfolding. So there, I'll just kind of lead you through this, and then if you want to come back at any, let me know. But I just kind of love the red bag with the red lanterns and the moment.
Yeah.
All right, hold on a second. Let's see what's going on here. Hold on 1 second. Oh. Okay. So for the sake of discussion, so I'm sitting in the gallery, and the show at the time was the Film Swap show, just about a year ago at this time, right? And I'm sitting there, and and Jackie Golding comes walking in, and she's got several pieces up there, and so a lot of Holga stuff. And I had just gotten a Holga for Christmas, talking about a year ago, talking about Holgas. And I shot one roll of 120, didn't know what the hell I was doing. And Jackie comes in and we're talking. And I said, oh, I just shot my first roll of Holga. And she said, oh, you want to do a swap? I said, I'm afraid, very afraid. So I said, give me a week or two. And I went and I loaded a roll of film in the camera and went and shot and then rewound it and did my own swap with myself. And I came up with this. And I kind of liked it.
Bravo.
Yeah, nice.
Wow.
Yeah, amazing.
That's really
That's
cool.
awesome.
I am happy to say that Ann Jastra picked it for the toy camera show in Somerville, Massachusetts. So
Oh,
I
nice.
got to go see
Oh.
my brother in Boston and saw it hanging on a wall, and that was kind of fun.
That's so cool.
Okay. If don't ask what it is, I'll tell you, but don't ask.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I mean,
There it
I
is.
think it's just, it's like a game. It's like a puzzle, right? Like,
Yeah, serendipity is an amazing thing. So in the meantime, the next shot actually is something that Jackie and I did together. That actually we did show this on the show and tell, but my mic wasn't working, so I couldn't say anything. But this was just one of the shots that Jackie and I did together. And she's a landscape shooter, and I'd never met her before, and I never met her after. Only one other time was when we actually swapped film. That was the only other time we ever met. And I shoot street and she shoots landscape, and we kind of came up with, this was just one of the shots, which I love
Nice.
because it's a tree and it's life, l'chaim, and it's like tree of life, and I just kind of love the shot.
Hmm.
Jackie's going to be guest curating a show this year at OPW.
Excellent. So moving on, in the springtime, I went to London, and every year I like to do a workshop with somebody. And there's this guy, I did a one-on-one workshop with him, and his name is Mark Fernley. And he's a thing on Instagram and other stuff, and runs a very successful workshop. And he's all about geometry and angles and mostly black and white. His work actually is really pretty amazing, but he's got an interesting eye. So I wanted to learn a little bit from him as to how he works with geometry and isolates people and this and that. So this is him. This is a shot I took of him in King's Cross train station in London. And it's kind of a
I
fun.
think train stations are such a wonderful place to photograph. At least in well, the big old ones. No, I'm just kidding.
But
They often have just like really, I mean, there's such giant spaces. The ceilings, like I don't know, there's something about them.
agreed. Okay, so I came back to San Francisco and tried to apply some of the tools he gave me, and I kind of came up with this one. Those of you know the Yerba Buena Garden area, Jesse Square. It's a great place to, as Ernie did with the truffle guy, just find a spot and wait for the right moment to happen. And
That's great. Lots to look at.
yeah, I just kind of love the angles, the lines, and obviously the color. It's monochromatic in its way.
Mhm.
And again, Golden Gate Park, you're trying to play with those angles and that unique perspective. And I was trying to get that Ferris wheel from an angle that nobody else seemed to be capturing it. All right, back to EPCO. I walked into the garage sale, walked to the end of the gallery, and there was Phil standing over a table of lenses. And I said, what have you got for an X-mount camera? And I got a steal on an 8mm fisheye. So that's what I used. Jenny, that is in San Ramon. For whatever it's worth, there's a shopping center there called City Center. And it was designed by an Italian architect who also did the Whitney and did the Pompidou Center and did the Shard. And yes, he did this shopping center in San Ramon.
Wow. I'll have to check it out.
So there's lots of angles, lots of lights, lots of interesting opportunities. And I just kind of had fun with this one.
Yeah, that one is a lot of fun.
Fisheyes were very much in vogue in the 60s. And
Like me.
And there's a few of Raymond Cooper has a few fisheyes. It was obvious you can kind of see going through his collection, like, oh, Raymond Cooper got a fisheye. And the way he uses, again, it's very interesting, gives you this totally different look at the world. But yeah, this works really well.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, it worked in the suburbs, and it also kind of worked in Noe
True.
Valley too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
I found myself sitting on a bus stop bench, just with the fisheye.
Yeah, I mean, what a difference it makes to put your camera down, like at the eye level of the dog looking up. Like it makes it,
I love this one.
That's great.
Monterey Jazz Festival. won't say any more about that than that.
Great.
And I like to have fun.
That's great.
That's really cool.
It's at the top of SF MoMA. Googly eyes.
Yeah, it's great.
Right.
You've been working.
And I only have one other shot that actually I wanted to include, even though I didn't take it from
Uh-huh.
last year, because when I saw who signed up for this, there was a picture I took back in 2017 at this same location.
Mhm.
Oh.
Nice.
So the reality is, I had no idea. I had no idea who these
Oh,
guys
that's
were.
right. Right.
Oh,
You hadn't met.
yeah.
Yeah.
This was way before I met any of you guys or knew anything about EBCO or anything, and I was just, I like to
Oh,
shoot
that's
people
so
in interesting
cool.
situations. So
Oh my God, seriously.
Wow.
So when you were going through your pictures, you were like, oh my God, I took some pictures of these guys and now I know who they are.
a few years back, maybe about a year or two ago, I came across, I went, holy shit, that's Ernie. So I actually, I
And
think I posted
Ron.
this on
And
social
Ron, yep.
media. And because I was just like,
It's-
I was just taken by it, right? And when I saw that Ernie and Ron were both going to be in this, I said, you know what? I just for the sake of
Oh
whatever.
my God, yes, that is so great.
Look at my friggin' hair. Oh my God. Oh,
That's
that's
so
great.
good.
That's
Thanks,
good.
Bob.
Yeah,
Thank
all
you.
of our
Thank
hair
you.
is thicker at some point. Anyway, there you go. There they are.
Those are great, Bob.
They all are great. Yep.
Yeah.
So, yep, a little bit different than everybody else, but hey, I'm having fun just like
We're all
everybody else
different.
is. So there you go.
Yeah, one of my favorites was that very first one with the framing with the lanterns. That was so successful. Yeah,
Thank you.
because it catches the eye, but it's also nicely balanced by the mass below it. So then your eye comes down into that mass, and then there's those two people there, which is very, very rewarding. So it's a nice journey for the eye, and you're rewarded at all these different places. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. And by the way, for whatever it's worth, this is on College Avenue. There's a mural up of E40, the rapper,
Mm.
and that's a bird bath around the corner from my house.
Oh, interesting.
I remember you saying that you'd been invited by Jackie
Yeah.
to partner up, and I'm like, she never invited me. What?
Well, Vince, don't take that too hard. I mean, before that, Jenny actually had said to me earlier on, hey, we should do a film swap. And I couldn't even think about doing it. I said, oh, no. I couldn't even do that. And that was it, not last year, but the EBCO Fest before. I'll never forget it. I was like, oh my God, she asked me to swap. And I'm like, no freaking way. But maybe next time. So there you go.
Cool. Yay. Thank you, Bob. That was awesome.
Thank
All right, next up, Ronaldo,
Yes.
otherwise known as Ronald. Wouldn't it be funny if you or Ernie took a picture of Bob for some reason in 2017 in that at MoMA?
Yeah.
You should look through your rolls of film and see.
So I'm going to do a slide here. And, then we come back and start with this. the first two were taken at Lake Erie. I live about 7 miles from this spot.
Can
to
you
the
go
lake.
back to the first one?
This is the first one.
Oh, the second one. Sorry.
Okay.
So sorry, Lake Erie. And are
Yeah.
you shooting? What are you shooting with? Is it
Uh,
this film, right?
Fuji X Pro 1. All this was shot with a Fuji X Pro 1 digital.
Nice.
And I go there not often enough, but I go there about 4 or 5 times during the year. So, and I hang out there for a few and see what I can get, what photos. Then last year in January, I went to Spain. And this series, we're from Sevilla, Spain. And we had been there. We were only there like one night and 2 days. And this was taken on a Sunday. We were walking around, exploring the old city. And I kind of liked the fountain, and I saw the bird, and I just waited. And the bird started flying. And then I also noticed the 2 people there, and the one woman had a camera. So, and this is also Sevilla, and this was this little square, and I kind of liked it with the tree on the top, and just waited there until I saw those 3 folks coming. Well, one coming towards me, and the 2 going away.
I like how you can see the fruits in the tree as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And this was also Sevilla. We were walking through this other section, and we were crossing that alleyway. And as I was walking there, I saw the person. Looks like it's a woman to me. And I saw her way down there. I said, oh, let me take this one. So this was taken from a bus on the way to Granada from Sevilla, the countryside.
Wow, nice.
And I just liked the trees and the pattern on the ground. So I said, let me try taking it and see what would happen. And turned out all right. But it was, the bus was moving as I took the photo.
Lucky, huh?
Yeah. And this was taken in Barcelona. We just had arrived in Barcelona, and the bus went by this area, and there was no place to park. So we only had like about 5 minutes or so to get out of the bus and walk around and take photos if we could. And so this was a result of one of the photos that I took.
I love this one, how everyone's like looking in a different direction.
Yeah. And that's the Mediterranean Sea. So that's one reason I wanted to take it. This is Niagara Falls. We went there. A friend of mine the reason I'm here is this friend that I had that moved, told me about Cleveland Heights. And we moved here first, then he moved here. And he couldn't take the cold winters. So he was moving back to Florida. And before he moved back, he said, hey, let's go to Niagara Falls. So we went up there and spent the day there, my friend, my wife, and myself. And we were just walking around. The foreground, that's the American Fall, which is on the US side. And the second one is Bridal Fall. And the third deep one where you see the mist there, that's Horseshoe Fall. That's on the Canadian side. And then we took a boat ride towards the fall. And I took this photo. I looked up, I was towards the front of the boat, and I looked up and I saw the birds, and I kind of liked how they were flying. So I shot it. And so that was, from the boat. This one was also from the boat. And I saw the hillside and saw the water coming down, and I noticed that there were people there. I said, oh, this will make a good shot. So that was it. Any questions?
I love how you're integrating the people in those various pictures. The last one of Niagara Falls, I just love it's like a little snake of heads.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Well, that's it. Let's see.
Excellent. Thank you, Ron.
Nice,
You're
Ron.
welcome. Thank you.
Next up is Georgia.
Okay. This is my first time sharing with people, so please be nice.
Like
Please laugh.
sharing ever?
Like, yes.
Well,
Um,
congratulations. You came to the right place.
Thank you. So this is a combination, these pictures of my DSLR. I just got a mirrorless camera and also my film camera as well. So this first picture, you'll also, I really like shooting people and portraits. You'll notice that I only have 3 friends from going through these because they're the same people. This one was really exciting. My friend just turned 30, so this was her 30th birthday party. And this was the first ever event that I shot, and she asked me to shoot her birthday. So this was really, really fun and exciting. So these were kind of my 2 favorite pictures of her. It
Nice.
was a really cool space, as you'll see, like with all the mirrors in the back, which I think made it really interesting to shoot. I especially really, really liked this picture that I took of one of our friends and like the way that you can see her in the mirror and other people in the mirror in the back as well. I really liked that. And I liked all the blues in here too with her outfit and the door and the couch there as well. Um Here, oh, I can do slideshow too, like the rest of you did. Okay. You can still see that, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
This one I also really liked. This was in New York around the same time, obviously Christmas time. That's Rockefeller Center in the background. This is my friend, and this just image feels very New York to me with like the classic coat, how cold it is, the Christmas lights. This was shot on film. This was my friend's wedding that they recently had. This was like the end of the night. And I just really like that this captured, like an intimate moment they shared at the end of the night. This was in Croatia with my friend that you just saw for her 30th. This was where we were staying, the balcony, like overlooking where we were in Split in Croatia. I also that same trip went to Paris with 2 of my friends. So this was also a balcony overlooking the Eiffel Tower that you can see in the background. And same picture, just different person here. This is my friend's backyard. This is her dog, Minnow, that she loves, and she also this is her fruit tree as well. So I thought this really captured her. She has a very 70s like sense of style. So I thought that film would really like capture her and her essence. This was also shot on my film camera as well. This was at a winery in San Diego for my friend's birthday. And this was my first time shooting black and white film, which I really liked. This was also one of my friend's birthdays at the beginning of this year. And I really like how no one's really looking at the camera. And this is the same person the day before. And I really liked how the use of the mirror. So I think that's something that I want to continue this year, especially is seeing, how I can use mirror and reflection as a lot of you all did for your pictures that you shared today.
Yeah, these
Those
are
are great.
yeah. Can we roll back to the beginning?
Sure.
is so striking. I think it's nice how you're looking at your friend, at the subject, but also the surrounding. You're bringing the shapes and the colors, and like you said, in some of those, like the mirror and the furniture, even the one with the woman holding a dog and a lemon or whatever. I
Mhm.
noticed that the dog's collar is also yellow, and it creates a little bit of harmony. And so that really struck me, the way that you're kind of looking past the subject and into the environment and putting all those pieces together.
And it balances the photographs too, like looking at the frame in general.
Thank you.
Can we see the black and white one?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a great one
Yeah.
too.
I just wanted to see it because it's so good. It has such good energy.
Mm-hmm.
How are you lighting this?
This one was actually all just natural light taken. Yeah.
It feels like a flash, like the light's coming right from
Yeah.
your direction.
I wondered if that maybe has to do with her phone, like shining in her face as well. That's why she's so well lit.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
Yeah, it's amazingly well lit. For what's going on. And like, I would think that there was a flash on the camera because you are not casting a shadow, but also like, if you had used a flash, I would have thought like the phone in her hand and her fingers would be so blown out, but like it's not, like it's really like you can see everything. Yeah, really great, like candid shot.
Can we go back to the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this series with your friends and in that space, these are so successful, I think. It is, yeah,
Yeah, it
really
was such
works.
a cool space for sure.
And are you going somewhere? Did they dress up in this outfit just for the portrait, or
Yeah, just it was a big party, so it was just for the party that
oh,
everyone
fantastic.
dressed up. Yeah.
Thank you, Georgia. Yeah, welcome to the zoo.
That's great.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, congratulations for showing to a bunch of people who you don't really know your pictures, because it can be scary. I mean, we've all done it before, right? But those were great. So Hannah, are you still here?
I am. For some reason it's saying I'm not allowed to. Oh, now I can turn on my. Earlier it was saying the host stopped allowing me to turn my.
Yeah, that was my fault. Sorry,
Oh.
yeah, we didn't want to see your face, so
Just me. I was like, everyone else does that.
Well, Hannah reached out to me the other day asking if there was time, if she could show, and there's time.
Ooh, thank
So,
you.
take it away, Hannah.
Man, I haven't shared a screen on the Zoom call in so long. Let's see. I still remember how to do it. All right. Okay, everyone can see?
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, and so I'm showing there's 8 35mm photos and then 2 Polaroids.
All right.
And this is obviously one of the Polaroids.
Look at that color. Holy crap. How'd you get that?
I don't know. I don't have a lot of luck with Polaroids, so when that came out, I was very pleased.
That's amazing.
And this one has kind of a crazy story. I got I was inspired to get an old SX70 Polaroid after PolaCon last year. And I took it out on this hike, and then we spotted this cow carcass, and I was like, oh, whoa, it was kind of a little eerie. And I took the photo, and it was an awesome photo, but it broke the camera. So I was just like, oh, I was even more freaked out. I was like, oh God. Like the camera wouldn't stop making this weird sound, and then I had to get it fixed.
So you took 2 pictures with your Polaroid, and it was was it the balloons and then this?
Well, the balloons was just the regular kind of like early 2000s
Oh, okay.
Polaroid. Yeah, 600 with the 600 film.
I mean,
Hannah,
this
where-
is a really good one too.
Yeah. Hannah, where did you get your SX70 fixed?
Oh, I sent it to a random guy in New Mexico. He's called Dr. SX70, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
I asked some people, I had met some people at PolaCon, and I had DM'd them, and they recommended. And I think Brian Brooks also recommended that guy.
Okay. Well,
I need that guy.
Yeah. They did a full refurbish. But yeah.
I mean, I haven't shot a ton of color Polaroid, but it definitely hasn't looked like that. Those are really cool. What is the guy holding who's
Oh, in that
yeah.
was like, I don't know what you would call it in English. They were calling it a vaca del mar, like a sea cow. I think it's some type of it's a being, it's a creature, some type of sea creature.
I'm gonna look it up.
And then I just really like how the light came out in this. Like I don't normally have this kind of look with just no flash, sunset, regular,
Yeah,
like, probably like 400 film or something.
mhm.
yeah, really nice.
Yeah, got a rich tone range.
And then this is Iowa. I went home to Iowa last winter. This is my uncle's barn.
Wow. What's the next one after that that's super grainy and
Oh, this
through
one.
the screen or something?
Yeah, it's through. I was sitting in the passenger seat of my dad's pickup truck, and
Oh,
it's like there's like snow or like
that
rain or
is
something on the windshield.
super cool.
Thanks.
So it's through a screen and it's grainy?
It's grainy and it's through a windshield. So the specs are like either snow or rain or something, like some type of precipitation.
I'm seeing like a grid pattern on there. Is that just
A grid?
me? Are my eyes being all weird?
I see it as well.
Yeah, so that happens when you resize grain to a certain size. You can get this mosaic pattern depending on like how it scales it to your screen. I deal with it a lot. Not fun.
Weird. I really like this photo though.
Thanks.
That's so funny. Wow.
Yeah, and they have a hot air balloon festival in Indianola, Iowa. Every summer. So this is at the hot air balloon festival.
That competition works so nicely that these bookending that one in the middle that with these 2 ones that are up and that one kind of droopy one.
Thanks.
Mhm.
It's really nice composition.
Thank you. And that's my I used to live in Spain, and that was she was like 4 years, like my little sister kind of in Spain, and she was 4 when I met her, and now she's a teen.
Wow. 15?
Yeah, 16 maybe.
Wow.
Yeah. Love palm trees. Growing up in Iowa, I'm still like fascinated. I guess that's probably a banana. That might be a banana tree.
Mhm.
That's outside Joshua Tree.
Hmm.
And that's it.
Those are great.
Yeah. nice
You
work, Karen.
also have been working hard.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It was I took more Polaroids this year than normal because I was inspired by Policon.
it's coming up.
Yeah, and then I'm excited for it. But I've been frustrated with the SX70 a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, is that normal? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they were, even when they were first released, when they were brand new, they were notorious for breaking.
Okay.
Yeah. But when they work, they work.
They're amazing.
Work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, awesome. That was great. Thank you, everybody. Jason, do you have pictures you want to share?
Next time.
Okay. So yeah, thanks again, everyone. So good to see you regulars and you newbies. It's just, I love show and tell. So our next one is Tuesday, April 2nd. Same time. Description, Vince is hosting Lost and Found Photography. We talked about this one, inspired by the Raymond Cooper Archive. Yay, Hannah, you already signed up. Woo!
Yeah. Thanks for letting me tag on. I was like, I better sign up early this time so I'm official.
That's great. And then in June, it is our annual film swap. And so for that one, it's good to, get an early start on it if you can. I will add information and a link onto that. Usually we have a link on the sign up sheet where you can pair up with people. And actually, I'm going to put a link to the sign up sheet in the chat right now, in case you're interested. And then we have show and tells in August, October, and December, for which we do not have any hosts. So if any of you were inspired by tonight or have ideas and want to host, feel free. And aside from that, we'll see you in April 2nd, 2 months from today.
Wonderful. Great to see everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
Thanks,
seeing everyone.
everybody.
Safe, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.